Good morning, John. It's Monday, December 29th. And sometimes I forget how amazing it is to have a fan base that is entirely and completely and purely made of awesome. And then I get featured on the front page and I start getting comments like this one. WTF, are you some kind of gay nerd homo sapiens activist? Sure, I'll be a gay nerd homo sapiens activist. If you want to call that a bad thing, then I'll be one. My wife might get a little bit angry about the gay part, but everything else, I'm sure she will be 100% in favor of. Back when John and I first started on YouTube, probably 50% of our comments were negative. And now because we have the Nerdfighters, who, for those of you who don't know what a Nerdfighter is, mostly they are people who like to watch John and I and other Nerdfighter programming on YouTube. They are also people who, instead of being made of bones and organs and stuff, on the inside are actually made of awesome. And Nerdfighters believe in fighting for the rights of nerds and for intellectualism and for accepting people for who they are. So the Nerdfighters generally have very kind and supportive things to say to us. But then you get on the front page and there are a lot of non-Nerdfighters watching the programming, and suddenly you remember how hateful YouTube can be. The only difference now is that when the haters come out, the Nerdfighters pounce! Generally, I think that Nerdfighters do a really good job of insulting people, though. And frequently they do it by invoking Shakespeare. Zoster Toaster responded to a pretty offensive comment thusly: "Thou fell-lurking cur resembling a wagtail embossed carbuncle." In fact, I'm a really big fan of responding to haters' comments with Shakespearean insults. I think that that is proof that there is a great well of awesome in the world, and that it is only just being uncapped. It seems that many of the haters, in fact, are just the same person, commenting over and over again, which makes me feel a little bit better about the nature of YouTube. I mean, at least it's not tens of thousands of evil people, it's just, 10 evil people commenting thousands of times each. For example, Zac Efron for life is a real meanie. You wouldn't expect Zac Efron for life to be a real meanie, but he's a real meanie. And I kinda wanna get in touch with Zac Efron for life just so that I can contact him in 30 years and see if it really was Zac Efron for life. It just occurred to me that Zac Efron for life is probably a girl. I don't really think about girls as haters very often, but maybe Zac Efron for life is a girl hater. I heard that you had a pretty good Christmas, and that you received, among other things, a personal trainer. Good luck getting off the pounds there, buddy. I, in fact, weigh about 15 pounds more than I used to, so maybe I'll be going down that road eventually as well. I, as you probably know, received Rock Band. That has been fun. My wrists hurt. It's really hard. Bar, the thingies. It's fun though. And I got Catherine a ukulele. Ukulele! And hopefully you will see a Hank and Catherine duet in the future. Guitar ukulele style. And of course I want to thank you very much for all of my llama butts. I mean, honestly, I'm having a hard time imagining my life before I had those llama butts. How did I live? A couple of housekeeping things. There are a lot of people who are wondering where their copy of So Jokes is. I can promise you that it is not on my desk. Unfortunately, it turns out that it is much more difficult to ship out large quantities of things at the same time than we had originally assumed. You need a special device and license in order to do that. And so we are in the process of acquiring that device. And as soon as we do, they will go out, but I don't have an estimated date for you right now. I'm very sorry about that. So you don't have to worry about that, we did get your order, and we are about to send out several hundred copies of So Jokes. And if you haven't pre-ordered them, you can go do that now at dftba.com. Second little announcement for everybody, I'm looking for people who are interested in 1, environmental technology, and people who are 2, interested and active in social news like Dig and Reddit and StumbleUpon and that kind of thing. Because a friend of mine and I are working on a project, and we are wondering if you would like to be included. So we need people who are interested in environmental technology, and we need people who are currently involved in social news. Send me a letter to sparkslife@gmail.com with environmental technology in the subject line. And if you spell it wrong, I won't get the email, so spell it right. John, that should be all for now. I will see you very soon in a video in which we will discuss the future of nerd fighting on YouTube for 2009. And it will be a very exciting discussion indeed. We have some amazing plans for 2009, so rock! Don't forget to be awesome.